All right, welcome back to day 3 of Mendelssohn Songs Without Words, Lieder einer Worte, Opus 67, number 1. Sometimes when I'm practicing a new piece, I'm learning it, I like to play through what I have so far just to see how it's going. So I'll start with that. So not bad. Some phrases are easier than others. I think the two phrases that stick out to me the most that I would want to work on after playing that is measure 3 and measure 7. It's tricky because it's slightly different the two times it happens. So the first time, this is measure 3. So what's difficult about that, we talked about it yesterday, but that moment, 4, 1, 3, and it happens against something in the right hand, so. So when I'll practice a little chunk like this, what I'm checking for is, number 1, I'm making a note to myself that the thumbs play together, because that's a moment of stability. But also, when I play my thumb, in the left hand is my 3 on D in time. So there, what I missed is that moment going back down to the 5. So looking at when it happens the second time, this is measure 7, it starts the same, but then you have that chromatic approach to the F. And then it's a little ornament. And then it goes to A flat. So it's a little bit tricky in that the second time through it's ornamented and then it goes to a different note in the bass. second time. So sometimes I'll spend a lot of time just comparing those two measures, comparing the two phrases, because they're slightly different, and it's very easy for the hands to get confused there. I want to move on, though, just for the sake of the video, and talk about the left hand that we were doing yesterday. This is in measure 11. I think I was playing an incorrect note there. I think somehow the B flat got in my hand instead of the C. And these are some big distances. A seventh between 4 and 5. But I don't even think about those two notes even really being that connected. This is just the start of a new moment. So there's an interesting fingering choice to be had here. This is in measure 13. You can go 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, or you can go 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 5. I think since the 2 is already on B flat, it makes sense, but there's a little bit of a stretch between 2 and 3 there. And then a big leap. That's a leap of a minor ninth between 4 and 5. I think it makes sense to play 4 on the G, the last note of measure 13. Since you're already there. Another leap of a minor ninth, this time happening between 5 and 5. And I haven't really put the right hand in there yet, but I do want to take a look at it. There's a couple interesting things to be said about some of the intervals. This is starting from measure 11. So there, going from 5 on G to 3 on G, I'm rotating to the left to get there. And again to the left there. Left, 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 left. Chords rotate towards the thumb, which makes them feel a lot more settled. It really feels good in the hand. Left, 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 left. It's a combination of feeling left and down that really makes it feel good. Obviously, that's a little bit exaggerated. But let's try putting it together starting from measure 12. 3, 4. Now, what I noticed there when I played is that my arm, you can play 3 and 4 here fairly comfortable, but if you're gonna have to play a G, or a C natural, excuse me, there, you're gonna wanna have your arm a little bit more over to that direction so you're not so far away. that's a moment to practice getting that shift. This is the second beat of measure 12. Again, another moment. Those transition moments are going to be important to practice. Here, I'm moving in the right hand and out in the... I'm moving in the left hand and out in the right hand. This moment here. So, good progress being made. We're on day 3. We're about getting close to having the first page together. And there's no real right way to break up the piece. Sometimes people like to skip around, take different phrases, but usually when I'm just starting, I'll just kind of work through it piece by piece, starting from the beginning. The one danger is that the beginning tends to get a lot more comfortable than the end, but that's just something to be aware of. But anyway, I hope you guys liked today's video, and we'll pick it up tomorrow.